there and taps his hands and you're just sitting there and sit there and rock back and forth in the chair and a bit of another murderer or whatever he is convicted up to this point of a case, not in handcuffs, not in shackles, one or the other or both, and in orange.
Hey everybody, excited utterance here. How are you all? How are you? Am I okay? Like, can you see me and hear me all right? Good. I keep getting this thing coming up saying the connection is unstable. I'm like, I know I'm unstable. The doctor keeps telling me that, but I think I'm all right. Hey. Okay, so guys, I've only been up for like an hour. Don't tell me too much stuff, right? It's impossible for me not to know that Hitler has said that the gag order has been lifted, but I don't know much else, right? So I have a few things tagged on Twitter that I want to look at live with you all. But apart from that, I don't know very much, and I haven't watched the hearing. So I want to do the whole live react thing with you all, like I did with the plea hearing. So that'll be fun. I'll bring Dali in, and then I'll say hi to some people. Hey. Hello. Okay. Hey everybody. So Bye Friends and Scott have been here for the last 15 minutes, going, "What are we doing here? Where are we going?" Bye Friends was the firstest. Hey, Bye Friends. Scott, I feel so alone. Hello. And I said, is Mavka here? If he starts the Idaho 3 shit again, he's timed out for the live. I don't even know if Mavka's turned up yet. Hey, Sean. Hello, Sean the Sheep. Great last episode you did on Erin Patterson with your guest input. Ping, sorry, was lovely. Ping was just amazing. Yes. It was great to have Ping here. I wish someone would tell me what the Idaho 3 reference means. Sorry, I shouldn't have even brought it up. All I know is that it pisses off Hella and Mavka has to sit in the corner after she says it. Yeah. Hey, Tracy Burton, how are you? And how are you, Beautiful Waterfall, by the way? Good to see you too. Lovely to have you guys here. Not gonna look at that comment, Beautiful Waterfall, something about jumpsuit Pablo, whoever he is, jumpsuit somebody. Half Irish is here. Hey, mate. I will read this. It's Steve's fault and Mavka stirring the pot or trying to flirt with girls in the chat. It's the way Mavka flirts. It's not always with girls either. It's just Mavka flirting. Maddie B, how are you, matey? Sweet Tooth, how's your collecting going? I broke a tooth the other day, and I thought about leaving it out for you, but it's broken, so don't know if you could collect the broken ones. Who else we got here? EDW Raptor with the 5 excited utterance memberships. You are a giver. And you're also my hubby. Yeah, he is. He's my boyfriend, EDW Raptor. I like men who give. We'll see. Yeah, he's a giver. He's a giver. He's my number one. Thank you very much. Tracy Chappell is here. Thank you. And MJ's Gold Pants. Christy and Steve, you give me the willies. Angel Ray, good morning. How are you, love? Welcome. Oh, and another $5. See? You know that again, my good side. Mighty fine headset there, Darlie. Oh, wait, hang on. Is your headset fixed? Yeah. Or is that a new one?
It's a new one.
Someone buy you some, someone send you some donation.
EDW 2.0 and Erica. Yeah, just dropped like really, really, really generous super chats one day. Like,
isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
look at them. See? There you go. That was nice. Hey, Rotstar, how are you? And thank you for the $5, by the way, EDW. Who else we got? Have I missed anybody yet? Just going down. Cover your eyes, darling. Your arch nemesis, Bifrons. I still love you, Bifrons. I still love you. Hey, CT girl, how are you? All right. He loves giving to AG. Where is AG? Someone go find him. And Harry Potter's bit, either that or it's the best sellotape job in the world. I did actually think it had just been taped up.
Finally got around to repairing it. Nope.
No,
it's Bluetooth and everything. It's fancy.
It's Bluetooth.
It's wireless.
Blue with a tooth. Nice.
Yes.
All right, guys, let's get into this. So, before we start, I did go through the documents that led to this hearing. So we had just every media outlet in the world all banding together with their lawyers going, we want the gag order lifted, right? So there was 2 documents. One of them was about the gag order being lifted. And then later, it's like they came to their senses and said, hang on a minute, the gag order, it'd be great for that to be lifted, but it's not going to do us much good because everything's under seal. Right? So then they put in another motion to unseal the documents, right? So they came along and they went, also, by the way, here's a motion to unseal. And so both of those 2 things got put forth to the judge, and they asked if they could please have both those things heard at the same hearing. So I'm assuming that both things were heard at the same hearing. But we'll see how that went. Let's go. Now, Darlie got in trouble when he arrived because he had messed with my screen templates big time, and I've made a new screen template called Hello Screen, don't change it. There it is.
So first thing I did was change it.
No. If you change it, you're kicked out. All right, so here we go.
Tempting.
All right, we are on the record in State v. Kohberger, CR 0124-31665. Present
That's
today by video is the defendant in custody with counsel, Ms. Taylor, Ms. Barlow, and Ms. Massoth.
Who?
State is represented by Mr. Thompson, Mr. Hurwitz, and Ms. Jennings. On behalf of the media petitioners, we have
there
Ms.
he is.
Olson and Mr. Pedersen. Today's hearing is to discuss the media's request to terminate the non-dissemination order. The state filed a response indicating it was no longer objecting to that, and the defense did file an objection indicating that they do have a continued objection to lifting the non-dissemination order. I've read the briefs that have been provided by the parties, and I'm going to attempt to shortcut things here a little bit by asking whether the defense, who is the objecting party, has anything additional to add beyond what it had in its briefing before I don't know that I need to hear from, frankly, the petitioner. I think the briefing was adequate, so let me just start
You guys hear that?
Ms. Taylor to see if there's anything else she wants to add.
Your Honor, there is not, but if there's further argument, Ms. Barlow will be making that argument on behalf of the defense.
All right. And to be fair, Ms. Olson, was there anything you felt was important to add that was not contained within your briefing?
Your Honor, we would just briefly say in response to the defendant's brief, we certainly understand the expressed concern about
wait.
media.
So you reckon you can zoom in on Kohberger?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, you can?
It's
I don't really know. I
coverage
don't know
of
how
it.
to do that.
It's a plugin, and it's
Oh,
not
you
the
got a
best
plugin
plugin.
for it.
It's not the best
Oh.
plugin, but it kind of
All
works.
right. All right. You think you can be all tricky? Then off you go. All right. And like meanwhile, I'm gonna just save Sarah from like Suni's attacking Sarah. Suni out. Sarah, if you can stay. Here you go.
Uh-oh.
Okay, look. Both of you. All right,
So-
hang on, both of you go.
So I'm just trying to get this all set up.
You said you could do it.
I am.
Yeah. You're clever.
I have my moments.
So it looks to me like Kohberger, he's not even in prison clothing. He's in like a jumper.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
At all. It simply continues to limit the ability of the members of the press to reach out to the people who know the most about the case. It doesn't obligate them to say anything. We also understand that they expressed that there was a due process right to the sentencing. I read the case that they submitted. I think that there is obviously a due process right at sentencing, but I don't think that case is really it doesn't provide any guidance to the court here because that was about information provided to the court. And given the very limited scope, and we understand it's very important, but given the very limited scope, what's to be decided at the sentencing, we don't think the arguments that Mr. Kohberger made should outweigh at this stage the First Amendment rights of our clients. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. In light of that,
Was
Who's
that
talking?
Bicabalo? I thought that was Bicabalo.
At the sentencing, we don't think the arguments that Mr.
The- Jay Dixon, I think. Olson.
Oh, okay. No, she represents the media. Okay, go.
Oh, okay.
Kohberger made should outweigh at this stage the First Amendment rights of our clients. Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you. All right. In light of that response by the media outlets or interested outlets, Ms. Barlow, do you want to add anything?
I would only say, Your Honor, as this court is well aware, the publicity in this case is so extensive and emotions are already so high that adding fuel to the fire of media interviews or a rush to interview people as they leave the courthouse or enter the courthouse would only increase the concerns that the defense has. And even though the plea has a specific sentence attached to it, as this court is well aware, things happen in plea hearings and, sentencing hearings. And to minimize the possibility of that, we request that this order stay in place.
Wait. What did she just say?
Do you want me to go back?
Yeah.
Increase the concerns that the defense has. And even though the plea has a specific sentence attached to it, as this court is well aware, things happen in plea hearings and, sentencing hearings. And to minimize the possibility of that, we request that this order stay in place.
Things
All right,
happen in
thank you.
sentencing hearings?
All right. As the court has
But-
considered the
Things happen. Things and
Kind of vague.
Things do happen. Do you remember Melody Farris's sentencing hearing?
That is true.
Things
That got
happen.
spicy.
Wow. I wonder what's she talking about.
Huh.
The petition, frankly, the court was prepared at the time the plea was entered to lift the non-dissemination order in order to give the parties time to evaluate that and to ensure I wasn't missing anything. When both sides objected, I agreed to continue the non-dissemination order. I also indicated that I would have the potential to look at that again before sentencing, because frankly, I anticipated the motion from somebody, in this case, the Ms. Olson and her clients, was likely to be coming. And at this point, I do not believe the purpose of the non-dissemination order, the primary purpose, which is to ensure that we can seat a impartial jury, is any longer at play. The concerns identified by the defendant, while certainly not to minimize those, they are concerns and they are significant concerns. I do not think, however, the non-dissemination order and the right of the public to information is outweighed or outweighs those rights, I should say. And frankly, I don't think that lifting the non-dissemination order will meaningfully impact those concerns. I mean, the media frenzy, as it has been described, will continue regardless. It is a little bit like a, water will find low ground. In this case, the media is going to write about something regardless.
Water will
about
find
this case,
low grounds.
The lifting the non-dissemination order does not require the counsel or others who were previously bound by it to speak. And the state has indicated that they don't intend to until after the sentencing.
Right.
And certainly I would
Angel
hope
Ray.
that the media interests would respect those positions and give people the space that they need and request. In terms of, for example, the defendant's family and others coming and going at the sentencing, we intend to have, as we did before, appropriate security measures in place to ensure that they, as well as the victims, are allowed to get in and out
Spit it out.
Come on. You can do
unscathed by the media, if that's what they wish to do, or if they wish to speak to the media, they can do that as well.
Oh, I'm sure some will.
At this point, I just don't think that
Yep.
that I can justify the continuation of the non-dissemination order. I think the rights of the public to information, in this case, is paramount, given the fact that a plea has been entered in this case, and so I'm going to lift the non-dissemination order. But I want to
So now we can make a decision.
point out what that means and what it doesn't mean. So obviously, nobody's required to speak to the media, first of all. Second of all, I want to be clear that the court's prior preservation order to the parties is not lifted and continues to stay in place. And so it's important to understand that those obligations still exist. And then the other thing I want to point out is that by lifting the non-dissemination order, that does not convert sealed documents to unsealed documents. Documents previously sealed by the court are still sealed. Now,
Papa.
I see the media also filed a petition to be heard to unseal everything. I'm denying that outright, the request to intervene, because I think it's premature at this point. So the court,
He knows about being premature.
its intent is to, after sentencing, begin the process of reviewing all the sealed material in this case to determine what should be unsealed and what should not be unsealed. That process will include an opportunity for counsel
Hey, Amanda.
to register any objections to unsealing documents, specific documents, and request to redact certain sealed documents before they are unsealed.
Oh,
or
that's so
unseal
nice
them
of
in a
you.
redacted form. I intend to do that in groupings of documents at a time. As I sit here now, my thought is I'm going to start from newest to oldest because those are the ones that I have the most working knowledge of as to the reason for the sealing of the documents as well as the content of those documents. And so I think I can get through those more quickly. As we move backward in time, it's going to take further, more extensive review by the court to figure out, to obviously review the content of those documents, listen to those hearings, et cetera, and determine why they were sealed and whether that rationale still is necessary or that rationale still requires the documents to maintain that sealed status. And so before
Wait, so he's gonna, because he was new, right? He's gonna have to himself go through all the sealed documents and decide whether or not they're sealed. Is that what he's saying?
Or unsealed, because he doesn't really know what they were necessarily.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to rule on unsealing the document. That could take years.
Well, he's going to start with the ones he knows, so that'll be pretty quick.
Yes, but okay,
And
let's consider. But the ones people really want to see, like the body cam and the like if there was ever an interrogation, which there probably was, right? Like that would have all been at the beginning.
Yeah.
So he's saying he has to work his way backwards. Like the good stuff, like the stuff that people really want to see when it happened. Yeah. Like he has to work his way backwards, which means that he will start with the things he knows and then work his way backwards. So there will have to be motions to unseal, I suppose, or will he just do it anyway?
He may ask for feedback from the parties.
God, this could take forever. And he has like other cases to deal with, right?
Well, as Johnny says, I guess my clerks will do it and I'll read their summaries. But
this could take forever.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And he'll get into more of it, I think.
everybody gets out their pen and paper and sends in public records requests, understand those will be denied for sealed records until they are unsealed. And that process is going to take time.
Well, I guess I shouldn't have refiled my or resubmitted my records request today. Awkward.
And I'm not talking days. I'm probably not talking weeks.
I get it, Judge. Okay.
So I hope people understand patience will be required to get through that, as I'm going to have to review those myself to make those decisions. Now, we may be able to speed things up if neither party objects to groupings of documents or specific documents being unsealed. But it's important to review those because those documents may include information that pursuant to Rule 32 are not to be made public, including birth dates, social securities, information about minors and victims, and information that would be
in the Epstein list,
essentially inappropriate to unseal, including protection of individuals from undue harassment, et cetera. And so that's just going to take time. In addition, I'm unlikely to unseal much until after sentencing and after the appeals period has run. Now, I recognize the plea agreement includes a waiver of the right to
appeals period.
There are a few things that he can appeal. As Scott and Mavka were talking about it in Discord, but it's something we may want to look into, or you may want to consider doing a stream on, because there is a misconception that Brian has waived all his appeal rights.
Well, I mean, that
But-
was like outright said at his plea hearing.
Yeah, thought Hello was going to perk up. I mean, I know for one, he cannot waive ineffective assistance, which, but there are like a few things like the severity of his sentence he could appeal. It might be worth talking with a lawyer and trying to dig into the finer points of this, because it seems like a very cumbersome legal issue.
I've had some information that he can go for a federal habeas corpus, but that
Good.
is, I'm sure, not what he's talking about.
No.
Because that would be outside of state jurisdiction and therefore not
Correct.
considered to be
He'd be crossing state lines.
running out the appeal. Considered to be not running out the appeal period like he's talking about here. But maybe ask Andrea for a stream together. Oh, that would be nice. I haven't had her on for a while. I think that Steve Gosney might be a good person to talk to about this.
Yeah, probably would be the best legal.
Well, I mean, Andrea would be lovely, but Steve would probably be accessible and an interesting person to talk to in regard to the whole situation that's happened here with waiving his trial in order to avoid the death penalty. So anyway, let's keep going. Or I want to hear what's going on.
Got a few 4 minutes.
appeal, but as the parties probably know, the U.S. Supreme Court in Garza versus Idaho has indicated the fact that a defendant waives the right to appeal doesn't mean they don't have the right to appeal. And so it may affect the outcome of that appeal, and it may affect the underlying case and the plea agreement. But nonetheless, the right to appeal does not go away because of the waiver.
Told you.
So I think it's important for that time period to also play itself out to see that it goes the way that I think people intend and expect it to. And so I will be entering an order in the next week or so outlining the process for the review of the sealed records. And counsel will need to maintain a presence in the case in order to review those materials as they are proposed to be unsealed by the court.
Okay, and just pause, please.
Because the timeline that
City Girl, you're right. She's only I think tweeted once or something and said, I go away for a week and Brian pleads guilty. I can send her a message and ask her if she's planning on speaking or maybe even writing a Substack post or something like that. Sometimes when she doesn't want to stream on something, she'll write quite an in-depth Substack and give us her thoughts. So that it's possible that she doesn't want to give her opinion until she's researched it properly.
Because it is a very, very nuanced topic that even you really need a lawyer, I think, to be able to actually go through it themselves. And he cited a case, Idaho v. Garza, or no, something Garza. So that's one place to start, but you're going to need to kind of really dig into it to understand.
It's an Idaho issue as well. So
there's federal and it is Garza v. Idaho.
Sure she can speak on Garza. I'm sure she can speak on it, but here's the other issue. It's something that she might not want to speak on until sentencing is done as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can send her a message for sure. Maybe ask Andrea and Steve. That would be good. Up Irish. In fact, last time I was doing something with Steve, she was really happy to come on. She just had a boxing thing on. So yeah, she was really excited to come on, but she couldn't. Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Will likely give you will
2
not
minutes.
be, I suspect, extensive as for
God.
each group of records. So I might give you 14 days, for example, to provide a response as to a group of, a dozen or a couple dozen records at a time. So just sort of heads up and fair play with respect to that. Any questions by the parties about the ruling today?
Not from the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
No questions from the defense. Thank you.
So Olson, do you have any questions?
And I don't, Your Honor. I wasn't certain if I was included within the parties. I would just say I think that the court's proposed manner of moving forward on the sealed records will likely largely address our interests. And we appreciate the court setting that out in this hearing today.
Yeah. If certain records after review maintain their sealed status, it would be at that point that I would entertain requests for me to consider that more formally and to have a voice in that. But I think until I've gone through that process, it's premature, which is why I don't intend to take up your motion, your more recent filed motion at this time. So,
Thank you, Your Honor. We appreciate that.
all right. And with that, then we are adjourned. Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hey, old line.
Can't wait.
Yeah, awesome.
See you next week, guys. Can't wait. Looking forward.
Excited. Brian's like,
Yeah.
Great. So online, thank you, and CH also, and also Scott for giving us that information about Gaza. So yeah, Gaza is only ineffective assistance of counsel for not filing an appeal after waiving your right to appeal. And in Gaza versus Idaho, the U.S. Supreme Court addressed whether a defendant who has waived their right to appeal is still entitled to a presumption of prejudice if their attorney fails to file an appeal as instructed. The court held that such a presumption does apply, meaning the attorney's failure to file the appeal is considered ineffective assistance of counsel, regardless of the waiver. And yet, Outline Rose says the Gaza case is ineffective assistance of counsel, so it's fairly narrow with a very high bar. Now, interestingly, our good mate, isn't he just the best journalist in the world? Brian Anton, yes, has gone and called the former Attorney General, got him on the line, on the blower, as we call here in Australia. You've ever heard that said before, the blower?
No, I think he does other things involving blowers, but that's just me.
It's an Aussie term. You get someone on the blower. So he went and got the old AG on the blower, and let's just see what he has to say. So let's go. Are we back here? And I need to. You take that away. We put this here. Okay.
Shoo.
All right. So Brian Anton, in all of his wisdom, the Brian Kohberger judge said today, even if a defendant waives the right to appeal, it doesn't mean they don't have the right to appeal. I spoke to the former Idaho Attorney General to figure out exactly what that means. All right, let's see.
So what does it mean that the Brian Kohberger judge said today that even though Kohberger waived his right to appeal, he can still appeal? And what exactly does it mean that Brian Kohberger's attorney said, quote, things happen in sentencing hearings when she was trying to make the point that the gag order shouldn't go away? I'm going to call the former Attorney General of Idaho in a second to get his take on those two things. But first, let me play you the two parts of the hearing where those two comments were brought up so you can hear it for yourself.
Even though the plea has a specific sentence attached to it, as this court is well aware, things happen in plea hearings and, sentencing hearings. And to minimize the possibility of that, we request that this order stay in place.
Okay, so that was Kohberger's defense attorney. Now listen to what the judge said. This was separate, but what he said about the possibility of Kohberger appealing.
I'm unlikely to unseal much until after sentencing and after the appeals period has run. Now, I recognize the plea agreement includes a waiver of the right to appeal, but as the parties probably know, the U.S. Supreme Court in Garza versus Idaho has indicated the fact that a defendant waives the right to appeal doesn't mean they don't have the right to appeal. And so it may affect the outcome of that appeal, and it may affect the underlying case and the plea agreement. But nonetheless, the right to appeal does not go away because of the waiver. And so I think it's important for that time period to also play itself out to see that it goes the way that I think people intend and expect it to.
Okay, so it is a little confusing. I'm going to call Dave Leroy, who is the former Attorney General in Idaho.
He's got
and clearly knows
huge
the law
ears.
very well, and get his take. So, Mr. Leroy, when the judge said that even though Kohberger waived his right to appeal, he could still appeal, we all just assumed that there was never any chance for any appeal. What does that mean?
Not all of us.
That does mean that the appeals are and remain final. However, under fundamental due process constitutional rights, every individual, even a convicted defendant, has the right to make sometimes a narrow bilateral challenge upon an allegation, for instance, that he was given ineffective assistance of counsel or did not fully and voluntarily understand
Our chat
his
knew
waiver
that.
of the right to appeal. An appellate court would not automatically toss that out, but on the record in this case, it would rather summarily, I believe, reject it. So the no appeals rule is in effect for this case, but it can't foreclose a theoretical filing that would likely not be given any credence by the appeals court down the road.
So essentially, it would be him having to say, I had a lawyer who gave me bad advice telling me to sign this deal. That would sort of be the argument?
Precisely, or despite what I told the judge, I was so confused and didn't understand what was going on that the waiver of my appeal right was not voluntarily made.
In terms of the defense saying, quote,
Brian
things
Eden is
happen
odd
at
looking, I know.
sentencing, what do you think she meant there?
I think the defense counsel was simply saying, let's not upset any apple carts. We have an agreed process going forward. There are a limited number of people, victims' families, the defendant himself, the prosecutor, the defense counsel that can speak at a sentencing hearing. Let's not interject any pressures or any media commentary that might alter anything that we otherwise know will go forward now. It's a very limited request to say, don't change anything before sentencing.
Righto. That's a really boring answer,
So
Mr.
what does
Former
it
Attorney
mean-
General. Bet you're big mad now. I don't get it. Why can't he appeal? Just watch the freaking video. How long is the appeals process? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to just bring up with you is that the city of Moscow, and that's hi to Sarah the Irish. Sarah's amazing. She's been incredible throughout this trial with posting all the links to the documents as soon as they come up and watching out for the timing of all of the hearings, making sure that we're all aware of it. Not sure what her Twitter account's going to do after all of this. Press release, City of Moscow to establish website. Oops. Let's go back. It's actually easier to look at it like that. City of Moscow to establish website for homicide investigation documents. Looks like they know they're about to be inundated, guys. Due to the significant public and media interest in the Kohberger investigation, the City of Moscow will be making some of the investigation reports that have not been sealed by the court available to the public and media at no cost to enhance access to public information and to reduce the burden on the city's limited staff when the city is legally able to release these records. Until sentencing is completed, all investigatory records for this case remain protected from release pursuant to Idaho Code, whatever that is. Any public record requests for investigative records that are received by the city before the sentencing has been concluded will be denied. There you go, Dolly.
I get it. Okay, guys. God.
Like, yeah.
I was too premature, apparently.
Apparently. I'm sure you're one of many that were premature. The volume of investigative records is substantial. And all records must be reviewed to determine if they are exempt or contain exempt and protected personal information that must be redacted pursuant to the Idaho Public Records Act and are subject to judicial seal before release. The city will establish a website where investigative reports produced by the Moscow Police Department, MPD, will be posted once the city is legally permitted to begin publicly releasing records. At this point in time, a separate press release will be issued providing the web address and notification to the public that the web page is available for access. I wonder what will happen then. Like, the website will go up and then everyone's going to go to it and then it'll go. Yep. Investigative reports and other records created by other law enforcement agencies and entities such as ISP, later County Sheriff's Office, later County Prosecutor's Office, Pennsylvania, FBI, Pullman Police Department, University of Idaho, Washington State University, are the property of those agencies and entities as the custodians of those records. Any request for those records should be directed to those entities. Oh, right. Huh. Haven't thought about that, have you, Dolly?
Oh, no, I just did the standard records request form for Kohberger's records.
Hey, Lana, baby. How are you? Hey, mate. How's it going? I reckon you thought about all this, right? So, okay, so ISP, Later County Sheriff's Office, there's a bunch of them. Later County Prosecutor's Office. So you're never going to get anything out of the FBI.
No.
Pullman Police Department, University of Idaho. Washington
Well, maybe
State.
after the Epstein list.
Yeah. They're going to deal with that first. So hang on. Especially like with the universities, that's all public record. Like, they've got to release that shit, don't they?
Yeah, as long as there's no court seal. I mean, this really is going to be a cluster F because of, and then you're crossing state lines, and
you love saying crossing state lines.
I do.
You do.
Yeah, it would probably just make sense to just have one place to dump everything.
It would be better if all of these people were just like,
made it public, and they don't want to have to deal with.
Yeah, if they'd all
constant
coordinate and chuck it all onto the one website and have like a team, like,
especially since they all have pieces of the puzzle.
It's like City of Moscow has gone about. They've just gone and gone, okay, well, this is how we're dealing with it. No one keep calling us and bothering us because we'll put a press release out when we've done our bit. So we're putting a website up. Done. Stop freaking calling us. Okay? But everybody else, go bother them. It's cool. You can start bothering them. Here's the list of other people to bother.
Yeah.
Because you probably didn't think about them, right?
Yeah.
Right. So here you go. You can go bother them, but in the meantime, like, leave us alone because we're putting a website up and it'll take a little bit of time, but we'll put a press release up when we're ready. Cool? Okay, bye. Okay, thanks, bye. Oh, man. Lani, you might need one of those inkless printers. Oh, okay, yes. I did hear that the Delphi transcripts are dropped. And you know what else? and I don't subscribe to Grey, what's his name, Pubes, right? Grey Pubes, but he's already doing opening statement read-throughs or something on his channel. Fun. So, I mean, you can't stop people. They're going to do their thing. Now, look at this. So in other words, this okay. So I like doing a little bit of looking at what people are saying after something like this has happened. In other words, this judge and the defense and prosecutor are protecting Brian Kohberger and the Idaho 4 murderer over the victims, families, and public. Once again, they all suck. Hope Kohberger gets his ass kicked every day in prison. Freak. Oh, yes.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Brian. Okay.
How can Anne touch him? What a narcissist.
Oh, my God. What's wrong with her? Does she want to catch murderer disease?
Murderitis.
Murderitis? It's terrible. It seems Idaho simply wants this case to go away. The families deserve answers so they can move on. This is cruel. I love this picture of him. The weird smile of a person who doesn't know how to smile and can only approximate what he thinks a smile would look/feel like.
Wait, are they talking about me? Oh, no, Brian, sorry. Like, seriously, that's me every time I am told to smile when I take a picture. I cannot take a picture for the life of me.
I know. I've tried to get you to smile and you just go. Oh, Lana, are you gonna do are you doing read-throughs? Bob is doing a read-through as well. I can't wait for Richard Allen's second trial because it's oh yeah. Are you doing read-throughs on your channel as well, Lana? The modders, they are going to be everyone's doing read-throughs. It's almost like maybe what we should do is like a giant dual stream, like everybody. Yeah. Yes, it's a good idea. Right? Like, what if rather than all the different channels do their own read-throughs?
Yeah,
what
a little
if we
bit
do
here and there.
one? Yeah. What if we do like 10 channels at once, all doing the read-through and dual streaming it, so all the audiences can be wherever they want, and like they cross-pollinate. That would be fun. Hella and Dali Theatre, the Delphi edition. Well, I mean, like you guys, you all know, like we do our dramatic readings pretty well over here.
Yeah.
Just saying. 15 channel read through. Anyway, so I don't really understand this person's point because he lifted the gag order. What more do you really want? And it's not really like they're going to unseal. He was never going to unseal the documents. He doesn't even know what the hell's in them.
True. Yeah.
Right? Okay, I know we'd like all the documents unsealed, but this judge doesn't even know what the fuck is in the documents.
No.
Right?
Which isn't, to be honest, is not unusual for a judge to not know what the evidence is or not know what's going on until the issue is presented to him and brought in front of him.
Yeah.
So Hippler being a new judge, I miss Judge. Hippler has no idea what's happened in the case before him. So it's going to take a long time. It's not unusual, though.
It's not unusual to not know what's in the documents. Da-da-da-da-da. Not unusual. Look at this. Anyone with a functioning brain can look at Brian Kohberger and confirm he's a serial killer straight up. Just look at him.
Hey, somebody said that about one of my selfies.
Hello. Hey, Excel spreadsheet. Morning all from Erin Patterson. Brian, next time just serve dinner. It's more efficient. She should have got manslaughter. She's innocent, by the way. Hey, Excel spreadsheet. Did you see my interview with Ping the other night or morning? It was fun. I actually appreciate that he said he's doing them in reverse order because he doesn't know why the old stuff was sealed. Look, that's fair, old line. He doesn't know the documents. He doesn't know what's in there. That's fair. He's not familiar with them. I get it. Let's just be clear about this. Why were they sealed in the goddamn first place? Right? Like, that's
Judge was really protective of anything public. I think even Hitler made a comment in one of his first or second hearing, like why he was a little confused why both parties kept sealing stuff. And it was kind of just because of how they'd been doing things for up to that point.
Yeah. So I think like people are kind of angry at the wrong person in a way. Like, I hate Hitler. I can't stand him, but I don't use hate very often. I shouldn't say hate. I hate what he does, right? But the issue was more about why the hell are these documents even sealed, right? That why was there so much secrecy around the case in the damn first place? There shouldn't have been. I understand certain documents being sealed, like, crime scene photos, blood and guts, people's names, stuff like that. But to just have a blanket, we're just going to seal everything, seal, all the time. And now we've got this problem when we have hundreds and hundreds of documents, videos, pictures, etc., that are just sealed. And now we have this administrative problem of the officers of the court having to go back and fix it. And then the public doesn't have a right to that information, or does have a right, but can't get that information. That's terrible. Like, it should never have happened. Yeah. CH, where are people getting wearing a ring in this picture? Okay. There is an AI video getting around of him. Is
that the one I did?
There's another one.
Oh, okay. Because I think I did one and that was like right after this photo came out, like a year ago or 9 months ago.
Yeah. And it was only a few months ago, but
whatever.
Yeah, there's an AI video getting around of him like looking back to camera, and it put a ring on him, like a wedding ring, and it went a lot further than yours didn't go very far.
I know. I'm disappointed.
So no, people have like made adjustments to this and done AI with it, and one of them had a ring on it. So it's
they thought it was real.
Well, people talked about it. Now this, I wanted to actually watch this because people are talking about this, and it drives me berserk. And it's just another thing, another reason why, if you don't have all the information, if you're just looking at the sort of fan fiction, for example, so at the moment we've got James Patterson's book out. We've got this One Night in Idaho series over on Amazon, right? We've got this sort of true crime obsession thing happening with the case. And imagine if the trial was happening. Imagine if the trial was about to happen in 2 weeks' time, right? And this stuff would have been out anyway, right? Would have been out anyway. If you don't have the proper information out there, people just make shit up. In fact, people are making shit up anyway. Now, this is Vicky Ward. I've sent Paula Neal Mooney says, I've sent off Brian Kohberger public records request for non-sealed evidence. Judge Hippler dropped the gag. Vicky Ward on Brian Kohberger targeting Maddie Mogan. And she says, digital footprint that's in the court record is that we know that he slipped into sort of the DMs of all of them. Now, that is a lie, right? That's a flat out lie. Unless she's seen some court record that nobody else has ever seen, that's a fucking lie, right? Yet people like this get out there and just say stuff and it spreads. All right, so let's just watch it.
Yes, but that was his target. And I wondered sort of where you got that from, and also why he therefore went on and murdered the other three, including, one of the male students.
Yeah.
So several reasons. One is that on the digital footprint, that's in the court record,
Pause.
is that we know that he slipped into.
Mhm.
Didn't Santa say, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Santa say that there was that they didn't find any evidence that he communicated with them beforehand? Or am I mistaken?
At the plea
At the
hearing?
plea.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It's been known for ages.
I was thinking, unless there's something in the court records that hasn't been released, but Santa confirmed there is no
It's a lie.
nexus
Yep.
between Kohberger and the four of them, any of them.
It's a lie.
I mean, if there was, it would be pretty damning. Okay, you can link them.
I actually would feel better knowing that this happened.
Yeah,
Right?
it would answer a lot of questions.
In a way, I wish he did stalk them. Right? I wish
Yeah.
he knew that they existed. I wish there was some freaking connection between him and these people, so I could feel better that there is not an innocent man sitting in a prison cell right now, and he's sitting there because he's
Trying
scared
to avoid
of
being killed.
being killed and his family being killed.
Yeah.
Right? I wish this was true, but it's not.
Sort of the DMs of all of them, but the person who he targeted most online was Maddie Mogan, and so he liked some of the pictures with Kaylee Gonzalez in them, but they're only ones that she's in them with Maddie. Maddie is the clear, I think, focus online. And it's interesting, I went and sat in a car where Kohberger would have parked his car behind that house on King Road in Moscow when it was still standing. There's only one bedroom you can see clearly from the road, and it is Maddie Mogan's, and he would have known it was Maddie Mogan's because it had a name in the window and her pink cowboy boots. And I went with a young woman who was a great friend of them all and who lived next door, and she would come out every night to her car parked in that same place, and she would smile to herself because the lights would all be blazing, and you could see Maddie very clearly at her vanity putting on her makeup, curling her hair, whatever. And obviously never occurred to anyone that there was somebody staring back at her from behind the trees in the road with nefarious motive.
You're making shit up, bitch. Elwing. An innocent man's in prison. That's the truth. It happens in America. It happens everywhere, Elwing. But this is just. And here's the thing. The more these things are repeated, the more time goes by, the more the fact that people just say, well, he admitted to it, he pled guilty, the more when we say an innocent man is in prison and there wasn't enough evidence and we question it, the more we are made to look like we're just disrespecting the
Nut
dead.
jobs,
Yeah, we're
conspiracy
nut
theorists.
jobs, we're the conspiracy theorists, etc. Right? And I don't know 100% that he's innocent. I don't know
Yeah.
that he's guilty. I
He
wasn't
could have
there.
done it.
Right? Dali could have done it. Right? Like,
I told you that in confidence.
right? To me, there's as much evidence that Dali did it that Brian did. There's that little. There's that little.
And Old Line brings up a good point. Dateline said that he favorited or
Oops, sorry.
liked Insta posts
Yeah.
of people they knew, but not them directly. So he knew people around the school, whatever. But it just doesn't. Why them? It does not make any sense with the evidence I've seen.
100%. Yeah, it happens everywhere. Yeah. The chain here says, literally, prosecutor at the plea hearing days ago, we couldn't establish a connection to the victims or house. Yeah. And they also denied the Instagram story before. No matter warrant about Kohberger was served. Enough with this nonsense. Paul Neil Mooney says, I'm simply the messenger of this snippet I watch. No need to get nasty. No, you're spreading misinformation and you should delete it.
Yeah.
So there's that. One more thing. Hey, TYO Toys, Phil. I do need to play this because it's kind of funny.
That's why I got involved in this business in the first place, just like I know you did. It's like, it's out of empathy, it's compassion, but there is a dark side to that. And the dark side is online sleuths who decide that they want to be the smartest person in the room, who figure it out and start pointing fingers at innocent people. That can destroy people's lives. They also went after the ex-boyfriend of one of these poor women that was slaughtered in this house. And these are innocent human beings. And by the way, for all those folks, he is no longer alleged to have committed this crime. He came into court and he admitted it. He actually did it. And look, Josh, you and I have been talking about this since the beginning. Evidence in this case was overwhelming. Those cell phones, that's why I got
Overwhelming, guys. It was overwhelming. So Phil says, Brian Kohberger discussion. Please be wary of the pro burgers such as Jules. Right, that little clip, that image that he showed was Jules with the true crime reactions. Again, the more people say the evidence was overwhelming, the more people believe it. And the evidence wasn't overwhelming, right? It just wasn't. It was, what was overwhelming was the lack of evidence.
Yeah.
That the lack of evidence was staggering.
If the evidence was so overwhelming, they would have caught Kohberger within days.
Yeah.
It took them months to catch him. And they had to organize across state lines and do all this stuff to find out it's him, because all they had at the time was a measly sample, I think skin DNA or touch DNA, whatever,
Transfer
of DNA on a sheath. And
that is not the murder weapon.
That is not the murder weapon. We don't even know if it held it or if it was something else, or I mean, it's probable it was.
They caught him in December. It wasn't months. It was. They caught him in December.
2 months, was it?
No, November 13, and so they caught him in December. So it was the next month. But regardless, the fact that the murder weapon was never found, and what they found was supposedly, like, they made it sound like that was the murder weapon, that sheath, right? But the fact that it was a sheath, and all they found was some DNA that supposedly tied him to that sheath, and fine, it tied him to the sheath, but it's not the murder weapon. So that in itself is reasonable doubt. The fact that it is a sheath and it's not the murder weapon, you cannot put the murder weapon into the hands of a person who touched a thing that is connected to you, what you are saying may be the murder weapon that you don't have.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Of course, they could have,
doubt.
asked Brian for what he did with the murder weapon as part of the plea.
That would have been good.
They could have asked him to give details that only the killer would have known, or to answer questions about how it was done that they don't know. But of course, then if they did that, then it would possibly jeopardize the nice, clean conviction they got that they can wrap up with a nice little bow.
Also, Phil, we identify as co-bros. So sick against pro burgers thing. Co-bros is so much better. Did you insert that? Because I listened to that interview, but I don't usually watch while I'm listening. She was really fired up after the plea, but I think she's actually changing her mind now. She's talking about Jules' true crime reactions. Speaking of Jules, this is notorious Jules. I know. What drugs is she on? I mean, it has to be drugs because no rational person would think the way she does. Yeah, right. This Ritter guy, by the way, he's a fool. Fool. JLR. Speaking of fools who have felonies. Oh, hello, BK. Got your hat out. Creepy Brian Kohberger is in the Ada County Jail. Thank God this monster is never getting out. Who are you to call anybody creepy? My God. Really? JLR calling someone creepy? You're nuts. Eric Hunley. Brian Kohberger pleads guilty, but is justice really being served? Pulitzer-nominated author Howard Bloom. He's Pulitzer-nominated? Howard Bloom joins Eric to dig into the facts and cover-ups. Howard Bloom is on with Eric Hunley? Really?
Mm.
Okay.
They should have also asked Kurt on.
Yeah. Oh, shut up, Jennifer. Okay. I think he's creepy. I also think he's guilty, just FYI. Try not to say too much, as I know I'm in the minority in this chat. You can say whatever you like, beautiful waterfall.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I don't know. I think the
fine.
chat's probably mostly on he's guilty, but there's a few not guilty. Yeah.
No, you know me, I am not going to get mad at you. Never. I have never felt really, I mean, in regard to, oops, sorry, darling. I've never really judged anybody on their looks that much. Look at me, I hang out with Dolly.
True.
And I don't think we know enough about Brian to judge whether he's creepy. I just, in regard to the creepy thing, I just don't see. I don't think we have enough information about him to say he's creepy.
I mean, it's not like
just no. We have enough information about him to know he's creepy. I think the word creepy for me is not. It's not about looks as much. Like looks play into it a bit, but creepy says to me it's about their actions and their whole demeanor. Everything like makes someone creepy. But with Brian, because we have so little information about what he really did, how he really behaved in everyday life, I can't really say anything about what he's like.
Of course, everybody in hindsight is like, oh, he was so sus. He was so, he did this, he did that. I can't believe it. I always knew there was something off. It's like, bitch, no, you didn't. People always say that after the fact. And it's like, it's so colored.
Yeah. And beautiful waterfall, if you believe that's cool. Like, I mean, and yes, they were 4 beautiful people that do not deserve to live their lives. No one deserves that. No one deserves that. And yeah, I mean, it is creepy, obviously, to take anybody's life in any way. So you absolutely are more than entitled to your opinion in that regard. Olenred, I believe he's guilty. Also, he said so, but I hope I can still assess the evidence with an honest lens. Yeah, guys, I want so much to see something to convince me, or at least give me some solace that it at least could be him.
Yeah.
Like, I tell you something. For a minute, when I was watching those ladies talk about him stalking Maddie, I was half asleep, and I was watching it, and I was like, "Oh, did they find something? Did they find something? Like, did something come out of documents? Like, is this new? Was he really stalking them? Oh, wow!" And I actually felt a moment of relief. Okay, cool. Because I've been so torn about this. I really have been for like 2 years that it wasn't him, and they have ruined a young man's life, and there's murderers out there, right? And yeah, for a minute while I was half asleep this morning, I was like, oh, okay, good. And then I realized, hang on, they're just making shit up again. And so with the lifting of the gag order, and hopefully with some documents being released, I really actually hope that something that isn't a lie is going to come out that's maybe going to prove he did it. I'll be disappointed that he did it, but if he did do it, I'll accept that, and I'll find some solace in that. I really will. But I just haven't seen anything to prove it, to even come close to proving it yet. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. I do not know. I wasn't there, but I want some proof more than words and transfer DNA. Yeah. It just seems like such a magician act to get out of there and not leave anything and not take anything with you. I think Kohberger will do an interview from the prison, maybe with that professor he really liked. I don't know. She's turned out to be a bit of a turncoat, I think. A Ramsland woman. She seems to me like she had a book planned all along, and we'll see what the book is about. Like if the book sort of stabs him, oh, that was a bad thing to say. If the book turns out to be, oh, I always had my eye on him, it was always a bit creepy, if it turned out to be like that, then maybe he won't like her so much. But if it turns out to be more just a commentary about what she's seen and heard over the last 2 years, then maybe he would grant her an interview. I don't know. But yeah, I'm a bit sus on her. Anyway, yeah, if he really does idolize Bundy and BTK, he'll want to follow in their footsteps and do an interview, tell his story. I don't know. I personally, I think that the whole idolizing Bundy and BTK thing is a headline. I think that's a big headline. I think that is very much a clickbaity point that's been brought out by Dateline and made a big deal, because like he studied these people for his university. Like he did papers and things on these murderers. He had to do it as part of like criminology. Doesn't mean he idolized them, but saying that he idolized them makes the whole story far more dramatic. So I don't know. He might have idolized them, but I don't think that we have proof that he idolized them, just because he was researching them. If he wasn't studying that and he had all that information about these people on his computer and he had been doing writing on them and that sort of thing, then sure, I would say you could make that conclusion. But yeah, I think based on the fact that he has that stuff on his computer and his phone, etc., that it doesn't really mean anything. And yeah, it does make the story so much more salacious. So yeah, I'm just not sure about that. Hey, Gordon. She writes about the werewolves and vampires, for Christ's sake. Yeah. And she goes to CrimeCon every single year. I don't trust her. I don't trust her. She has been talking to Brian Etten all this time. And Brian Etten hasn't exactly been a warrior for justice, has he? No. he studied crime scene investigations too. Explains how he was more careful than most criminals, doesn't it? Yes. I would love to know how he managed to avoid everything, like any spot of anything. Like if we're talking in his car, underneath the dashboard, in crevices, underneath in drywall, in the rocks, in the bricks, like no footprints, no nothing, and then managed to dispose of everything. But he drove his own goddamn car. That bit doesn't add up. I don't know. If someone can show me anything more, please help me out. Please help me out. I've always been agnostic on the Bundy stuff. It was his area of study. Also, if anyone looked at my real books, ebooks, searches, etc., I'd look like an absolute psycho. Same. Same. Maybe I am a psycho. Maybe I am. Hey, Chilo, how are you? Yeah, he apparently ordered a murder weapon off of Amazon because he's an expert criminal. I mean, the same theory could be applied backwards, right? So you could say there is no way to commit a perfect crime, right? You could say that he was trained and very able to be more careful, like Beautiful Waterfall saying. But even with every measure in place, you're still able to be traced to some degree, right? So if he did order the murder weapon online, he tried to hide it by doing it a long time in advance and doing it on a group Amazon account, and they couldn't even get a receipt for it. So maybe you could put it that way. Still don't get the whole driving your own car thing. But is the lack of evidence evidence? I think he used plastic sheeting in his car, changed his clothes, wore plastic booties over his shoes, etc. So where are they? And that's a fair point. That's possible. It's possible. I wish Dylan had noted that, because I would have thought that if he was wearing all this get up, that she would have noted that rather than just the black. I want to know what he had in his hand that Dylan said looked like a vacuum. That had me intrigued. Yeah. I really wanted to hear from Dylan. I sometimes think about my text being read aloud in court. I'd probably catch new charges. What do you mean new charges? What are your old ones? I grew up listening to heavy metal, playing violent video games, and watching horror movies. Still haven't killed anyone yet. Lots of murderers use their daily driver to commit crimes, and they go on for years using the same one without getting caught. What's the daily driver? What are you talking about? Daily driver. I need to get one of them. Doesn't everyone know the internet is forever? You'd think Brian Kohberger would know the internet is forever. He studied cloud-based forensics. So, yeah. Oh, you're working on a secret squirrel project, are you? Oh, really? Tell us more. Oh, sorry, you can't. You can't. I stopped texting after the death trial. Mate, literally. Next time I've got like 2 hours to stream, 2.5 hours to stream, we are watching Cyray's testimony at the Monica Seminelli trial. His expert testimony at the Monica Seminelli trial for the prosecution is scary as fuck, right? You will want to throw away all of your devices. And I mean throw them away forever. Somehow try and delete all of your digital footprint, which you can't, and just go and live in a cave. This dude, he just blew my mind as to how well he could track down 3 people's movements for like the last 5 years down to this much space. Everywhere they went, everything they said, it was nuts. I was just like, dude, I would hate to be your teenage daughter. Very scary. But it makes you very aware. Like we're in a day and age where the government can literally see everything you're doing, and you can't avoid it. And it's not just your phone, it's your car, it's your house. Like there are things in your house that also track what you're doing. Like if you have smart devices in your home, it's also places you go, like shopping centers and things like that, shopping malls, you guys call it. They have, when you go in, they monitor that you've walked in and when you've walked out. There's tracking absolutely everywhere. You can't escape. There's CCTV everywhere. And it's not just one network. Like there's all the different networks, there's corporations. I hate to sound like tinfoil hat wearer, but it's the truth, right? And they can make up a narrative to have you doing absolutely anything. They did it to Erin Patterson, right, in Australia with the whole mushroom thing, right? They found every single bad thing she'd ever said about her in-laws for the last 5 years. And they put that up in court, and they said that she hated them and wanted to kill her in-laws, right? People say bad shit about their in-laws. They do. Hello.
Hey.
Hi. I didn't know you were down there. When people use reward cards, they can profile us as a consumer and find peak times to raise prices. It's insane. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I was recently at the airport, so now they have my biometrics too. Oh, you're like, so your height and weight and like body mass and stuff like that. Is that what you mean? Shit. Living where I do, Washington, D.C. suburbs, you notice the number of places where your phone gets jammed, cuts off, gets wonky. It's absolutely the government. Wow. I even have an Alexa Ziggy in my bathroom. I hope they enjoy listening to me. I work because my daughter's got Google, I think is it Alexa, that thing in her room? You know, one of those little Nest
something like
things.
it.
Yeah, she's got one of them. And like she's gotten to like, she's way smarter than me with those things. And she's gotten to a point where it knows like when she wakes up and what her routine is, and it plays her favorite song, and it turns the light off for her because she's got one of those smart light things. And yeah, she's programmed it to do a bunch of stuff at different times of the day. And I'm like, I'm like, you know, it knows everything about you, right? She's like, no, I wouldn't. I'm like, because you told it. I'm like, don't kill anyone, hey. Anyway, is anyone live at the moment?
Sean, maybe?
Surely. Oh, I think criminality might be alive. No?
Mm,
No one? Oh, well. Never mind. That's a shame. Never mind. All right. Well, I tell you what, tomorrow. Oh, that's what I need to tell you guys. Guys. Oh, crime strain is on in and out. Okay. Yes. Important news. Becky Hill.
yes. Miss Becky?
You tell the news. You tell the news. I'm setting this up.
Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be in Colleton County Court for my first appearance. Getting my sweet summer tea ready. Right, Junior?
Oh, my God.
Becky Hill's going to be in court for some charges.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yay.
Now,
yeah.
I don't know yet if it's televised.
It will be.
I hope so bad.
It always is.
She's gonna bring a pearl necklace and look all pretty for the cameras.
Has Sean put his stream up?
Probably not.
Oh, God, it's on every week. Why can't he just put it on? Jesus Christ. Jesus, Sean. Never mind. I'll just put his link. It's fine. Dear me. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He'll put it up in 10 minutes before.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's all right. People can go where they want to go, but I'll put Sean's link up. Okay, so yeah, tomorrow. Assuming that it is televised, which I like 99% it will be televised, because Fitz News can't keep away from anything to do with Murdoch, right? Anything to do with Becky Hill, anything to do with Murdoch, Fitz News will be there. Will Folks will be there with his best shirt on, right? They will 100% definitely, no doubt, right? So I'm getting all my Becky Hill stuff out. I'm getting all my bobbleheads, everything. This one's getting his voice ready. He's warming up, right? We're getting our sugar tea. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, we don't know which court she'd be visiting. There's two.
Ben said Colleton County Court.
Colleton County, right? So that's the okay. So that's the first of the two charges, right? So it wouldn't be the perjury one. This would be for the misconduct.
Yeah.
Perjury was in Richlands.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Becky. Cool. All right, yeah. Publicly Buzz is live, and also Defense Diaries is live. There's a few people live, guys, that you can go to. But yeah, I'll be watching potentially Criminal really shortly. So cool, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Much appreciated. Fraud and misconduct. Yeah, that will be.
Yeah, but you know, when somebody's convicted and everybody says they did it, and there's plenty of evidence, you know, you can be rest assured that everything is above board. No shady shenanigans happened. You know, no book deals were done unethically. No Taj Mahals were ordered unethically. You know, it was the trial of the century, sure. And, you know, the siren call of fame got to Miss Becky Hill a little bit, but rest assured Alex Murdaugh had a fair trial.
Oh, yeah, sure. There wasn't any Brady violation either, by the way.
No.
No,
Not
that
at
didn't happen.
all.
No. Okay, you can save it for tomorrow. It's fine.
It's probably my favorite topic.
It's both of our favorite topics.
Next to Jensen.
If you can't tell, we quite enjoy covering Alex Murdaugh and Becky Boo. It's kind of fun. So even if you're not into it, please turn up, because we do quite enjoy the old Becky Boo. You'll see the big smiles on our faces the entire time.
This is like the most active I've been all night.
Yeah, look at him. He's all woken up. The siren call effect.
She said that after she pissed in the corner of the courtroom.
That's Justice Toll. Oh, I wonder if he'll be there.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, for sure he'll do interviews. He'll do interviews to explain what happened.
He has to. Oh, he's loving this.
Oh,
He'll say he's not, but he is.
Oh, he's disgusted.
Yeah.
He'll sell some t-shirts.
Vulgar. Bobbleheads.
Vile. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Time for the song. Thank you, everybody, and for the super chats and stuff. Much appreciated. Love you all. Love you all. Bye, Babu. Bye, Babu. Have a good night, day, whatever it is for you all. Bye.
And make some live streams. The co-host is Donnie and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 803. To the attention, excited ignorance. Her cat is staring for